good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are all over the world, sports lovers. I welcome you to yet another edition of our coverage of AFCON 2023 playing in 2024 here at the Redeem Sports, the King's Palace Television. We welcome you to another exciting edition. I'm not alone here to review the matches that we have seen so far and the three matches coming up tomorrow. I'm your host, and my name is not changed. I'm Tunde Badru. Co-hosting with me is...
the Miguel Adile, it's never changed.
It's never changed. Okay, Dimeji, we've seen about 12 matches so far. Surprises, red cards, all manner of things have happened so far. What has it been for you?
Tunde, again, welcome to the show. It's always an amazing time just hosting this analysis with you. You've said it. There's so many surprises. To me, I think the biggest surprise, which is not quite a surprise like we talked about in the last episode, is the fact that the bigger teams have not stood up to the test of time. I mean, you've seen, I think Senegal is the only one that have really stood the test of time. But, I mean, Cape Verde beating Ghana, Nigeria, just playing a draw, Tunisia losing to Namibia. I mean, that's a little bit unheard of from an African football perspective. But for me, I think the most interesting one is to see coaches now go spiritual. And we'll get to that later. We'll get to that later. Our coaches have turned spiritual, but that's fine. We'll get to that later.
Wonderful. Yeah. I mean, it's been great, like you said. But we have not seen anything yet because only 12 matches. We have to face more surprises, and it's going to get even better as the tournament will progress. But hey, it's never the two of us only in the studio. Again, today we have your best suspect is here all of the time. To my far right is Tunde Alameru again to give us some analysis of the three matches tomorrow and what we have seen so far. Tunde, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, sir.
And of course, it's not the first time having him here. To my far left is Shegun Oladapo. He's here also to do justice. You are certainly welcome to the studio. Well, viewers, go nowhere. Before we dive into it, we'll take our first interlude. And then once we come back, we're going to get straight into the three matches tomorrow and what we have seen so far.
At RCCG, the King's Palace, Katy, Texas, we're committed to bring a positive change to our community and the world at large. We are transforming the nations. We are world changers. In this season, we're equipping our members with powerful technology tools to strengthen engagement and accessibility to the church. Introducing the RCCG, the King's Palace mobile app, powered by ChurchPad. This mobile app addresses the core and expanding needs of our church, with a wide array of unique but connected features. With the mobile app, you get access to an interactive and completely personalized experience. Reserve your seat for in-person service, live streams, videos, and sermons. One-time or reoccurring giving options. View giving history, and download your contribution statements with a single click. Self-check-in and access to our other amazing resources. With this revolutionary app, you can stay connected to RCCG, the King's Palace, participate in live events, give, and more. You can also receive alerts on important updates. The RCCG, the King's Palace mobile app is called RCCGTKP. It is available for free download in the Google Play Store and App Store. Download the app today.
Welcome back, sports lovers, football and/or soccer sports enthusiasts around the world. Again, this is the Redeem Sports at the King's Palace TV. And I have with me again the usual host here, Tunde Badru, and we have Shegun Oladapo and Tunde Alameru, just talking AFCON 2023 played in 2024. 12 games are done. We have 3 games tomorrow, and it's time to talk about what was and what is to come. Tunde, take it from here.
Tunde Alameru, it's always good starting with you. We have 3 great matches tomorrow. The first one between Equatorial Guinea and Guinea-Bissau. And the second one is Nigeria versus Cote d'Ivoire. And then Egypt versus Ghana. I mean, this pairing, any day could go for a semi-final or the final of the tournament.
Absolutely.
For you, which of the matches you would think would be the toughest? The must-watch match for anyone, the one that really looks like the finals?
Well, in my opinion, I think all the games are going to be really, really tough. And looking at all the teams, Equatorial Guinea did a very good job against Nigeria, so I'll expect them to put up a good show against Guinea-Bissau. Of course, Guinea-Bissau, if they lose this match, they are probably out, so they want to stay. Now, the Elephants versus the Eagles. That's actually going to be a tough one. Playing against the host country, I'm sure Nigeria also knows that they have to win this match to remain. Ivory Coast probably needs a draw to remain in this competition. Now, Ghana versus Egypt. For me, that's going to be the very tough one. Because looking at the last AFCON, remember, Ghana lost their first game to Morocco. The same thing is happening now. Now, Egypt just managed to beat Mozambique. Sorry, they actually had a draw with Mozambique.
It was a draw.
Yeah, it was a draw with Mozambique. So,
Last minute equalizer.
Yeah. So they have just 1 point. So it's going to actually be a tough game. I really feel for Ghana because it's a time, the same thing that happened in the last AFCON. Now they are just completely disorientated. Their fans, everyone on the YouTube, everyone is just against them. So I pray it's going to be more like a final, and it's going to be a tough one because the likes of Salah too. None of them wants to go out at this stage of this competition.
Well, Shagun, it was a lot of struggle for Ghana at the last edition. They are struggling already, like Tunde said. Egypt struggled a bit as well in the last edition. Nigeria beat them in the opening game, and they struggled again this time. It was last-minute penalty kick from Mo Salah. Otherwise, they probably would have lost to Mozambique. But any day when you hear these names, you can be sure to expect tough matches. For you, where will the energy be? Where will desperation be? Where will the passion be on these 3 matches tomorrow?
Yeah, particularly for Ghana and
Egypt.
It will be more on the Ghanaian side, because I think it was in 2010 finals that they were beaten 1-0 by this same Egypt team. So they will, and particularly for the fact that the way they played, during this their last match that they lost to
Cape Verde.
So they will want to come all out and play better to win. So the passion and the strength, the energy, the what have you, will definitely be on on Ghana, to win this match. And then for Cote d'Ivoire and Nigeria, it's going to be a very tough one, very, very tough one. Nigeria will definitely want to win that match. For anything that you might want to think of, they will definitely want to win that match. Though a lot of things is going to play against them, the country, the team, and but Nigeria being that, they've always been there before, they've played this game, even at the highest level like this. So it will be on them to want to definitely, beat Cote d'Ivoire, even in their home. And then for Equatorial Guinea and Guinea-Bissau, I give it to Equatorial Guinea. Yeah, it's going to be an easy win for them, I can assure you.
Okay, Dimeji, what do you think?
I don't think easy is a word that should pass in this AFCON based on what we've seen.
Not much has been easy.
No, I really doubt it. All right, so Tunde, real quick. Cape Verde deemed the Black Stars of Ghana 2-1. I mean, you are shocked. You're still shocked. I had a conversation with you backstage, and you're still shocked that happened. And Egypt also narrowly just escaped a defeat. Now, should Ghana lose their second match, and they're out, exactly what happened in 2021, this is the new reality. Should this motivate them in defeating Egypt, or this should be a walk in the park for them?
Again, like I said earlier, it's going to be a tough game. I don't know if motivation is the right word, because Egypt also needs the same thing. So it's going to be a really, really, really tough game for the Ghanaians, especially when your fans are against you. You don't want to get to that stage. And that's what's happening. Go on YouTube. Everyone, all their players, all their fans speaking against them. They said this team's a trash and blah, 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 blah. So it's really going to be a tough game.
Could they channel that to a positive outcome?
Well, I hope so. If they were playing against an easy team, would have been. But like Mohamed Salah also wants to make a name from this. So it's going to be a tough game for them. I don't see them beating Egypt, to be honest. I don't see them beating Egypt. Maybe a draw, but I don't know.
But, Salah kind of struggled a little bit in their first game.
Okay, so the same thing happened in the last AFCON. The struggle they beat with Nigeria, but they came back really, really hot. So they all know what's at stake. 0 point, 1 point, they're more like the same.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Segun Ladapo, real quick. Could you have imagined that Mozambique, of all countries, will almost defeat Egypt? And Egypt had a very star-studded team. They do have a star-studded team. Shouldn't that motivate Ghana as a victory against Egypt, or would it rather motivate Egypt to win their second match?
Yeah, of course. I mean, if you look at the way they even played, I mean, the way the Egyptians played, like we rightly said even before, we came to the studio, they could have won that match
Easily.
if not for that penalty.
Easily, yeah.
And they played well. Not that they did not play. They played well. So if Ghana should go and watch that kind of match and see, look at these guys, look at what they play compared to us. We can do better. So definitely that could motivate them to okay, we can win these guys. We can we can do well as well and win this match. It will definitely challenge them kind of. So okay, let's do this to win this match. And don't forget that Egypt as well will want to win this match. It's not a matter of draw now. They will definitely, what I know at the end of the day is either Ghana or Egypt will definitely, go out of this group. Oh, yes.
Tough predictions.
Yes. One of them will go out of this group. Ghana or Egypt will go out of this group. Who will go first? Or who will go? That's what I don't know. But one of them will go out of this group.
Thank you, Segun.
Interesting. Talking about who will go and who will stay. The first match tomorrow is the match between the two Guineas. Equatorial Guinea and Guinea-Bissau. Of course, Guinea-Bissau is at the very bottom, of the group today. Equatorial Guinea, is riding there on the second spot, even though they shared 1 point, with Nigeria. Now, coming from about the same, playing pattern, will you say Equatorial Guinea will have an advantage in that they are 1 point ahead of Guinea-Bissau? Or Guinea-Bissau will just say bye-bye, to the tournament at this stage? What do you expect to see from these two Guineas?
Yeah, looking at Equatorial Guinea versus Nigeria, you could see that they came with a plan. And it actually worked out well for them. If they could score, if they could keep Nigeria in that game to that end, to that point, then they actually had a plan. Now, I see them doing the same thing with Guinea-Bissau. I see them doing the same thing with Guinea-Bissau. And actually, to be honest, I see Equatorial Guinea winning that match. You could see the passion. If they could play like that, for them, gone are those days when people no longer play against countries. You say, oh, Nigeria, the name. No, they go on the pitch and play with 11-11 with the players. And they really did so well. Yeah, we can't rule out the fact that Nigeria had a lot of chances. That match, easily, I was so upset because they just made my predictions not come to pass.
You got the first match right against. I think that was Guinea-Bissau. You said 2-0 and it was 2-0.
Yeah.
Now, this should have been 2-1 instead. You would have gotten the two predictions right. But anyway, Segun, look, Guinea-Bissau, in my mind, came some decent performance against the Ivorians. I mean, they were not overrun like that. Yes, they lost 2-0. Equatorial Guinea, like Tunde said, had a game plan against Nigeria. Now, these two, in my mind, know how to play each other. Who do you give the upper hand? Guinea-Bissau, Equatorial Guinea?
Yeah, I will still give it to Equatorial Guinea. Though Guinea-Bissau will want to play. They will definitely want to play as, okay, let's go. There's something about when you see two started team play. There's a way they play compared to when you see two star started teams play. So that is what we are going to see between these two Guinean teams. But the difference is going to be more at the advantage of the Equatorial. Because if you look at how they played us, how they played Nigeria, there's something that played that for them. Nigeria overran them, but yet they could not score. So you will wonder how. But compared to Guinea-Bissau now, they didn't play as well. Not that they really played.
Yeah.
But when you compare their playing, I mean, the two, the Equatorial play more better than the Guinea-Bissau. So I give it to them that they are going to do
Okay, we'll see what happens. Viewers, go nowhere. The second part of our conversation will be more intentional, more deliberate. We'll look at the tactics and look at some predictions and give you some more information. Go nowhere. We'll be back after this short interview.
The Redeemed Christian Church of God, the Americas One presents 2024 RCCG, the Americas National Prayer Retreat. The theme this year is Travail to Triumph. Date, January 18 to 20, 2024. Time, 9 p.m., Thursday to 4 a.m. Saturday. Guest ministers are Pastor James Fadel, Pastor Peter Olawale, Pastor Leke Sanusi, Pastor Bayo Adeyokunu, Pastor Abraham Adeniji, with ministrations by other anointed ministers of God. Venue is RCCG North America Redemption Camp, 515 County Road, 1118, Greenville, Texas, USA. For more information, visit www.rccgamericas.org or contact 903-213-6006 or 313-587-9415. Connect on social media via Facebook, Instagram, on YouTube at RCCGNA.
Yeah, welcome back, viewers, and we are still discussing the three matches tomorrow at the ongoing AFCON. With us in the studio, Tunde Alimero to my right, immediate right, and then to my far left, is Segun Ladapo. Dimeji remains my co-host, and we will now dive into some tactics, some specifics of the three matches happening tomorrow. Dimeji.
Thank you, Tunde. Like Tunde just said, we're going to go into tactics. And I want to start from the Nigerian side. Tunde Alimero, Francis Uzoho is finally back on the bench. And, you were one of those that said he should be back on the bench. And, Stanley has replaced him. Will you say Nigeria has finally gotten a good replacement for Uzoho?
In my opinion, I'll say not yet. And that's because I wouldn't use the word replacement, but I'd rather say competition. If you go back to the Nigeria-Equatorial Guinea match, Stanley wasn't really tested as much as Jesus Owono does there. As a matter of fact, their goalkeeper was the man of the match.
Yeah.
So Stanley wasn't really tested. I could see a lot of confidence in him. Maybe by the time they play with Cote d'Ivoire, I'll be able to say, okay, I think we'll have a better goalkeeper that can replace Francis. But for now, I'd rather wait for the next match.
Thank you. Segun Ladapo, I personally thought, not that my opinion matters, I thought Francis Stanley did, he was okay. And like I said, a lot of people think he's a better replacement to Francis Uzoho. What are your thoughts?
Like Tunde rightly said, Stanley was not, really tested in this match. So we can't really compare him yet with, Uzoho. Now, the problem I have with this guy, this Uzoho guy, is just like this Manchester keeper. I mean, a 2-year-old child can kick a ball and, to just pass this guy into the net. So that's the problem I have. But until this Stanley is kind of tested, and I want to, I don't know what the coach is going to do, but I'm just like, don't know how he's going to play. You see, when you play a team like Cote d'Ivoire, like Ghana, like Egypt, and you don't have a good keeper, man, anything can happen. Particularly at this, kind of tournament. So I don't know how he could be able to, do well or better than Uzoho. But now, like somebody rightly said during one of our, studio interviews, I mean, maybe the first one, that your defenders, they already know who you are.
Correct.
And they can okay, this is this guy. Let us try to protect him and all that. So they already know more about this Uzoho guy and how to, deal with his weaknesses. So that is what I fear, that maybe the coach might still want to use him.
Okay,
against Cote d'Ivoire.
I like that. Let me, Tunde, ask Tunde this question real quick. So, Tunde, Shegun talked about, teams that are star-studded. And we know, like you've agreed and he's agreed, that Stanley has not been tested. How many more games does he need to show that he's truly tried and tested? Because stars are born daily. And this is, I think, an opportunity where stars will be born. How many more games does he need to prove that he's a professional?
For me, I think it's one step at a time. So let's see what happens with Cote d'Ivoire. Because Cote d'Ivoire, they're the host country. A lot of things are going to play against Nigeria in that match. So let's see when they come out. So maybe by the time they come out, we'll see how Stanley reacts to some of their offenses when they come out in the next match.
Well, that takes me to, my next question for you tonight. Look, Nigeria did not lose the first match, but the result was extremely disappointing. 7 chances, converted only 1. The mighty Osimhen missed a one-on-one chance. Just too many chances missed. Now they're going to be facing the host country, supported with over 60,000 people in the stadium. Now, they have to up the game. What would you expect them to do differently if they will overcome the challenge coming from Cote d'Ivoire, or is it a mission impossible?
Well, it's a mission that's very possible. 4 things for me. Number 1, they had too many chances. Take those chances. Stop. For me, Victor Osimhen, even though he scored the equalizer, he has not really proven to us that, hey, this is the man to look out for in this tournament. So take the chances. Now, the coach should stop sleeping. He should read the game and know when to bring in.
He does.
Read the game and make changes on time. Now, we are used to Moses Simon coming in from the bench. When he comes in really, really hot. He may want to experiment that. Then finally, this crop of players should prove to us that they are indeed professional players. We are yet to see that. And today, looking at all these games, I was telling myself, I think it's about time where Nations Cup for Nigeria should be home-based players. And World Cup, let it be the foreign players, maybe because of experience. I've just been thinking of that. Because if we had, or maybe they should have like a ratio, 70-30, 70 when it's Nations Cup, 70 of home base, 30 professionals, and World Cup 70. I don't know, because we are yet to see, except for the likes of the midfielder who has replaced what's his name?
Alassane Yusuf.
Oh my God, that guy was something else. So we really need to see that bite.
Just imagine you have players like that, like maybe 5 or 4.
Because these guys are already in clubs, so they're in all their big clubs, Leicester City, Napoli, home-based players who are actually trying to get into a big club. They'll put in everything in this tournament.
And that's going to make sense a bit. I think in 2013, the boss, Keshi, I think went with about 6 home-based players, regular players. Uwabana, Sunday Mba, the guy that scored against Cote d'Ivoire, the winning goal against Cote d'Ivoire, and then the winning goal against Burkina Faso. My problem though with the Nigerian local league now is that they don't even stay. Once they show some flashes, then they're out of the country again. So they are also not very stable. But I'm sure Pesero should listen to you and take some of your cancer.
But Tunde, speaking of stability, I think you and I have talked about this on the show several times. I think there's a political element to this. There's also an economical element to this. I'm playing at home as a home-based player, but then when I see a club in Europe or possibly South America, I want to leave. There's a syndrome they call it. They call it what? The jackpot syndrome. So I think there's a whole lot to it than just people not wanting to play home-based.
It makes sense. Yeah, Shegun, what should Nigeria do differently? Today I've given us some thoughts. What do you think?
Yeah, what I would be expecting them to do tomorrow, first and foremost, is to, try to convert their chances. No matter how little those chances are.
Even half chances,
yes. And that was what, I've forgotten this country now. That was what Cape Verde did. Look at their second goal. No matter how little those chances are, just convert them, So that is what I think.
Yeah, Shegun, even Equatorial Guinea,
Yeah.
they had one
chance. Yeah, they
Only one
converted.
chance.
Because those chances, they don't just come. They don't just come. So once they come your way, just take it. That is one thing that they need to do and do good. Then they need to play with understanding.
Yeah.
Don't just play like, well, we don't have a playing pattern. We don't have whatever we want to do. They should come together to play as a team, not as just individuals. Okay, we are all good. Yeah, okay. Let us just play the way we, would have wanted to play. So they should play together as one uniform. So I think that could, and like we actually said before, like they should play as if there's a coach inside those 11 players. I'm not saying they should not listen to their coach, but at least they should up their
Yeah, we're having that
game.
conversation
Yeah.
before we got on set. I mean, actually, you in there, but that on the field, that they should have some coaching going on. So if things aren't going the right way, based on what the coach on the sideline has said to them, there's somebody in, maybe the captain, maybe a playmaker, maybe someone who is like the boss on the field to make the changes. I mean, I think
Those are the things we used to see in the days of Stephen Kesh.
Yeah. But even in other sports, for example, in basketball, like you see the likes of LeBron or any of the star players calling the shot.
Yeah.
And the coach respects that person so much because they're the ones playing.
But if you look at this team very well, there is nobody playing that role. There is nobody playing that role.
That should have been Osimhen's role, right?
There's nobody playing that role. Somebody should carry the team.
Yeah.
This is what we are going to do. Let's do it and you get the goal. Young man, you are not playing well. This is how should I play? And they will listen to you. Nobody come out. Why will you talk to me like that? Are we both up professionals? No. They will listen to you. They will more. Yeah. So those are the things that I believe we should.
Well said. Imagine.
Yeah. Awesome. So, Shegun Oladapo, let me continue with you. Your Super Eagles coach, Jose Pesero, paired Trust Ekong with Ajayi at the center back, and many have just criticized that pair as a non-winning pair, right? Some have also suggested that Ekong should be paired with the likes of Kevin Bassey. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. See, the issue I have with players or converting players to play a particular role or wing in a team goes beyond just that maybe they don't blend together or it could not play that role. Because now pairing them does not make them not to have scored.
Okay.
Yeah. So pairing them is not the issue. You can pair them. I've seen teams, converting a left winger, to play as a central midfielder. Yeah. Maybe their central midfielder has an injury. Okay, you can do this. And they did. The player did it well. So it is not about, not converting them well, or because people are criticizing that, okay, why will you use this to replace this? No. If the coach has an instruction of how they should play, and they were able to do it, that's fine. Not that they scored. Assuming they scored more than one goal, or there were threats to our nets and it were caused by them, that would have been an issue.
So, but if they're not executing according to plan, then it's okay for the coach to change the lineup and repair.
I was looking at the formation that the coach used. I was like, I don't know, maybe I might have forgotten. I've never seen that kind of formation before.
No, it was 4-3-3. No, I think
they played 4-1-4-1.
4-1-4-1.
That was what Nigerian side? Yeah, 4-1-4-1. I was like, I've never seen this before.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never seen this type of formation before. 4-1-4-1.
That was the first time.
Yeah, and if you are playing that kind of formation of 4-1-4-1, your midfield would have been very strong. Maybe that was what led to those scoring chances that we lost and all that. Yeah, but I'm like, I've never seen this before.
That was the first time, Shegun.
He's a friend of Mourinho, so
all right. So Tony Almeru, Moses Simon started on the right, and some said that he should have played on the left and not the right, and some even said that Chukwueze should have started ahead of Moses Simon. What do you think about that? What are your thoughts?
I agree absolutely. This has always worked well. Put Moses Simon on left, and let Chukwueze start ahead of Moses. When Moses comes, you always know that. But make sure you put Moses in on time. Not when you have like 3, 4, 5 minutes to the end of the game. Put Moses in from second half from the...
And your on time could also mean different things. Could it also mean put Moses in when you're down?
Not
to come back with a
necessarily.
counter-attack, or
What I know that in the last Nations Cup, I still love Eguavon. I'm being very honest with you. I love him. Forget the fact that if they had probably even let Eguavon stay, I'm sure by now he would have gained more experience. And the way he used Moses he worked out well. Probably we didn't really go that far, but whenever he comes in, you know that he's bringing something new into the team. So I totally agree with the fact that Moses should come in from the bench and go on the left wing.
So next.
Okay, well, I think I'll start, with it again. All right, so the big boy, Osimhen, like we said before, one-on-one chance, that's a painful loss, to be honest.
Yeah.
But a few people have said that it must be under some pressure. Is the new king, the best player in Africa. All eyes, are on him. And so with pressure comes a lot of mistakes. And you could say that of so many of the strikers of Nigeria as well. It's as if, they're under pressure to deliver. Now, what counsel will you have in managing those pressures?
I think
Or do you even agree at all that was a pressure?
Of course, I agree. Yeah, I agree totally, 100%. The fact that he is the best player in Africa. But like Segun mentioned, they must be able to play as a team. Pass the ball to whoever you think is in the best position to score. And that actually played out in the game on their first game with Equatorial Guinea. So this game with Ivory Coast, they can't play under pressure on this. Be very tactical and just I see them beating Cote d'Ivoire in a way if they play the game as a team. They just need to play as a team. That's very important.
Okay, very good. Talking about Cote d'Ivoire, Segun, they are going to be under pressure. Mm-hmm. Under pressure to win before there are 60,000 fans and several other thousands watching on the television and over the internet. Now, usually sometimes when pressure is high, you're bound to make more mistakes. They are likely to open up the game and run out wanting to score. The Super Eagles, will this be an opportunity, for Super Eagles to punish them? Or, in fact, the pressure will work in their favor?
No, definitely the pressure is not going to work in their favor. It's going to work in the favor of the Super Eagles.
Is that because you're a fan of Super Eagles?
No, not really. But, they would that is why a team needs to go to a match with a good plan and know how best to execute those plans. They will want to impress maybe their president will be there or some important dignitaries will be there. They will want to play to impress. And that is how some players lose their heads.
And don't forget the match bonuses too.
and a professional should know how to play in those kind of,
environment.
Yeah, because you know that, look, I've studied. When you are playing, you don't just play with your legs alone. You play with your eyes, with your head. You know what to play. That was why I was complaining about this 4-1-4-1 formation thing. Now, you put this Osimhen as your point man. Definitely pressure will be on him. All eyes will be on him. Young man, how are you going to play this when they are on you? Distribute this ball to others that can score. Let them deliver. Let everybody come to you, and you just give the ball out. And look, go and watch that match again. There was one episode there, one solution there, whereby two players were standing to his right, waiting for him to pass the ball to them.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah. So that is it, because everything. No, it doesn't have to be only you. Assuming you have a game plan, that would have been your plan. So I believe that is what they are going to do if they do it well against Cote d'Ivoire. That's it. These people will be hauled out against us. Then we need speed, we need accuracy, we need somebody that will go there, get the goal. Once we get one, that's the beginning of the end.
Okay.
And I think, Tunde, kudos to the ex JJ Okocha. I like what he did. In the dressing room, he was waiting for the guys after they won one. And the moment they came out of the field, he was giving all of them a hug. So what else do they need? Motivation, everything is just there.
Awesome. Well, we're wrapping things up, Dimeji.
Yes, we are wrapping things up, and this is one of the second most favorite part of the show for me. So before I let you guys go, we have 3 games tomorrow: Equatorial Guinea versus the Guinea-Bissau. Like Tunde said, the battle of the Guineas. Nigeria, Ivory Coast, Ghana, Egypt. Shegun Ladapo, what are your predictions?
Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, 2-1. 2-1 in favor of Nigeria. Nigeria 2, Cote d'Ivoire 1.
Okay.
This Ghana and Egypt, you need a dreamer to predict this match. But yet, I'll stick my neck to it. I hope it won't end in 1-1. I just hope it won't end in 1-1. But then, this match might end in draw. Yeah.
What type of a draw are we looking at?
1-1.
1-1.
Yeah.
1-1. Okay.
This match might.
So the battle of the Guineas: Equatorial Guinea, Guinea-Bissau.
Equatorial Guinea, Guinea-Bissau. I could have said draw, but let me give 2-1.
2-1 Equatorial Guinea.
Yeah, 2-1.
All right, so Equatorial Guinea 2, Guinea-Bissau 1. Tunde Elemeru, you predicted the first in the first game you were spot on. You were spot on. So I'm giving you another opportunity. Equatorial Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, Nigeria, Ivory Coast, Ghana, Egypt.
Okay, so like Shegun said, Equatorial Guinea, Guinea-Bissau 2-1.
Wow, strong
in favor of
predictions.
Equatorial Guinea.
Okay.
Now, Ghana, Egypt, it's looking like a 1-2, Egypt 2, Ghana 1. Now, Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, I'm decreeing. The Bible says we speak of those. The Bible says we speak of those things that are not as though they were.
Okay.
2-1 in favor of Nigeria.
2-1 in favor of Nigeria. And you are so sure of this. A team that beat their first opponent 2-0.
Yeah, Dimeji, well, what are you up to?
It was the expression that you gave.
That's why it's prediction. I told you, I don't want to predict, I want to decree.
All right, this is a great segue. Speaking of prediction, so then let me get to you. I have seen, this is the first time ever that I have seen a coach, especially a Nigerian coach, gone spiritual. So Tunde Elemeru is not the first person to decree.
Exactly.
Jose Pesero, he said, and I quote, "I am sad, the players are also sad, but God gives and God takes. Next game, God could give us." Now he's gone spiritual. Tunde Baju, what do you say to that?
Well, you know, there's power in what we say. Mm-hmm. And that's why I don't take words lightly. Oh. You know, some years ago, a mom lied to the employer just so that she could get time off work, that our son had pink eye. And she traveled, came back, and the son has got 2 pink eyes. You know, so, you know, it might sound funny, but the coach has spoken. Maybe God will, you know, honor his words, and with Tunde backing him up with decree, you know, it's actually feeling like maybe Nigeria engage more spiritually. Like, you know, Nigeria can be very spiritual. But seriously, I mean, like you always want to do before we wrap these up, you know, be careful what you say about yourself. Whether you say I can do it or I can't do it, you know, what you say might be the reality. My charge always is stay positive. You know, it doesn't matter how difficult things may look, you know, convince yourself that it can be done. Don't say I will lose, you know, say I will win. Because out of any loss can come victory as well. What you say, your convictions, your belief about yourself, about what you can do and what you cannot do, begins with you believing that it can be done. Dimeji, I think that's about it.
Well, before we call it a wrap, I think Tunde just preempted the question I was going to ask. That wasn't my life coach question. Again, you're a life coach, you're a pastor, you're their friend, you are a mentor to so many. And this is, again, my favorite section of our show. You know, they say that when the going gets tough, only the tough gets going.
True.
And you see that as we progress from the group matches to the knockout phases. What do we do in life when the going gets tough? I know you've mentioned a few nuggets in the previous, conversation we just had about, what we think and what we speak. But when the going gets tough, what do we do? What have you done to help you overcome that toughness?
I think preparation it is. When you're climbing the staircase, the reason the railings are there is to prepare you for when you miss your step, so you don't fall down. Now, when people become very arrogant and you climb the staircase ignoring the railings, when you miss your step, you go all the way down. When you are going into a tournament like this or life as a whole, you must prepare for those difficult days. If difficult days meet you unprepared, then you're going to hit the floor. So what I do and what I ask people to do all the time is to prepare that days can become difficult. There are railings always. So when you miss your step, make sure you don't miss the railing.
I know we're right about the end of the show, but I'm still prompted to ask one more question.
Sure.
Do we intentionally put those railings there? And I'll break this down. Like you said, there are railings for you to hold, to lean on. What if there's a case where those railings are not there, where relationships have been burned? And there's nobody to lean on because you've burnt bridges or because you feel like, there are nobody around to help you to serve as that railing. What do you do?
Actually, I've modified that common saying that when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. As a matter of fact, when the going gets really, really, really tough, the tough might be stranded.
Wow.
And we've seen many, many examples where the tough couldn't get out of difficult situations. When the going gets tough, let the tough be sure that you are holding onto your maker. Because it's the one that can put inside of you what it takes to keep going. There are many challenges in life. There are some of the blow that knocks down the champion. It doesn't see it. If he saw it, he would have dodged. He didn't see
Absolutely.
it. He hit him. Now, but the only one who can help you to see the blow that is coming is your maker. The truth of the matter is, you can't run the race of life without Jesus Christ. Take it from me for free. So whatever it is you are going to do, you may be very tough, but when things get tougher than you, then you are stranded. That's why I always tell people, when a product is in trouble, take it back to the manufacturer.
Yep.
Your manufacturer is not your dad, is not your mom. The Almighty God is your manufacturer. When things crack down, when things are looking bad and not looking very good, go to the manufacturer. Jesus Christ will fix it. Thank you, Dimeji.
As usual and as always, thank you very much, Tunde Badru. Thank you, Segun Ladapo, Tunde Elemeru. It's always a great time having you in the studios. Like you've heard from the coach, the mentor, our father here has said, please make sure you have an anchor. Go back to the anchor. Go back to your anchor, which is God. So if you've lost that relationship, please go back and rebuild it. He's always wanting you to come back to him. To the sports fans and soccer or football lovers around the world, we are excited. Tomorrow's game, 3 matches. You've heard the predictions. Segun and Tunde have given various predictions. Tunde has been right in one of his predictions based on the previous match. Let's hope that he's right in the next one. And Segun,
particularly on Nigeria.
Exactly. So please make sure you like and subscribe to this channel or whatever social media platform you're watching on. We are the Redeemed Sports at the King's Palace TV. We love you and we pray that, you keep enjoying this AFCON and let the games also be a tool that God uses to minister to you as people dribble, as people catch goals. Just make sure your hearts are open enough to receiving wisdom and nuggets from God through the game. Thank you very much, and you have a wonderful one. Thank you very much, Tunde.
Yes, Baba. Thank you.
Thank you.
Segun, thank you very much.